Okay, we're going to talk about communication partner training. This could be an entire course in and of itself, but let's go over some of the basics. So I like to start with strengths-based coaching because we know that we need to, empower the people that we're coaching. We're not, the experts telling people what to do. In an ideal model, we're alongside, we're collaborating, we're coaching, and we're really, working alongside of communication partners to create, a really positive relationship. So that's why the first one I say positive change starts with the relationship that you build. Your first telepractice session with a parent might just be like, how's it going this week? Like how's it been? Building that rapport goes a long way, especially for parents who feel, like maybe not bought into the process. I love to ask open-ended questions, being an active listener, creating a judgment-free zone. I think that like we all have bias and judgment that like we have to check oftentimes. And so just being aware of that, these parents are oftentimes going through a lot that we don't even realize. And so if they didn't do their at-home practice, being very careful to not, appear as if there's judgment in that, and then of course, just inspiring hope. I think now more than ever, like we need to, remind parents that things are going to be okay. Their child will continue to learn and grow. And we're going to, do the best we can to work together to make this all work. I love starting with what communication partners are already doing well. Nobody likes to be told that they're doing something wrong. And so buffering all the things that we're saying and all the feedback that we're giving with, a really positive statement. We can always find something positive to say, even if it was like, I loved how he sat so nicely for you. Just finding something positive to say is really important because whatever we say following that, it's going to be taken a little bit later than if we jump right to, here's what you could do next time. Speaking of that, providing performance feedback. So we need to be really specific with parents, not only about what they could be doing differently, but why. So, it's not enough to just say like, next time you should pause more. It's like next time you should pause more because we need to figure out what he's going to say on his own. And if we're constantly jumping in, we don't even give him the space to figure out, what he wants to say. So, we really want him to start communicating on his own. And he's only going to do that if we give him space. And then, of course, encouraging self-reflection. So, the best coaches are the ones that ask you questions that lead you to the answer that you would want, right? So I always think about my dad, and my dad is notorious. He never gives advice. I could say, Dad, what should I do? And he never gives advice, but he always asks me like strategic questions so that I'm able to eventually get to where I needed to go. The same thing with telepractice, the same thing with communication partners and coaching them, just asking open-ended questions. So how do you think that went? Because that can give you a lot of information as to, is the parent feeling really bad about it? Do they feel like it was really good? What would you change for next time? I love saying, what do you think would happen if, instead of saying, next time pause, what do you think if next time you paused and allowed him a little bit of more processing time? What do you think would happen? So I love those types of strategies because they can just be really supportive, and they can build that connection with the parent or the communication partner that you're training so that they feel empowered instead of just feeling defeated, like, oh, I didn't do a good job.